Alright, next lesson here is power to a power rules. So when we're raising something to a power, we're basically saying do this times itself 3 times. So this is really telling me 2 squared times 2 squared times 2 squared. Because we've already done the multiplying rule, these are being multiplied, they're the same base, add all the exponents, I get 2 to the 6th. In this one, it's telling me to do y to the 5th squared. So y to the 5th times y to the 5th. Using my exponent rules, that's y to the 10th. This one, n to the 7th, n to the 7th, n to the 7th, n to the 7th. So that's going to give me, using my exponent rules, n to the 28th. Looking at these, looking at this relationship between 2, 3, my new exponent is 6, 5, 2, 10, 7, 4, 28. It's not going to be reasonable for us to write it out like this every single time. So the exponent rule, if you see it, when you have a power raised to another power, you multiply the exponents. So that is our rule for power to a power. And in this example here, multiply your exponents. So we're going to get x to the negative 8th. Can't have negative exponents, so it has to move down. In power to a power, this applies to every piece that's in here. Every base gets this power applied to it. So a to the 2 times 4 is a to the 8th. B to the 5 times 4 is b to the 20th. Here, this power only applies to this. So this is x to the 10th. This doesn't have anything, so it's x to the negative 3rd. This is multiplying, so we still get x to the 7th, because 10 plus a negative 3 is 7. Down here, this 5 gets applied to both the pieces in here. So I get x to the 10th, y to the negative 20th. Not okay, can't leave a negative, so I get x to the 10th over y to the 20th, because it needs to move down. In this one, the negative 3 times, there's actually 3 pieces here, the 3, the a, and the b. So the negative 3 gets raised to the 3rd, a to the 1st power, 1 times 3 gets raised to the 3rd, and b to the 4th, 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 3 cubes means negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, which is negative 27, a to the 3rd, b to the 12th. And example number 9. This parentheses doesn't have any extra power, so we're going to just rewrite it. 2, a to the 3rd, b squared. This is going to get applied here, but you have to remember this negative out front is really representing a negative 1, so it's also going to apply to that. So we're going to get negative 1 squared, and we're going to get b to the negative 6th. So negative 1 times negative 1 is just 1, so I don't even have to worry about that. B, though, there's 2 of them, so I get 2, a to the 3rd, b, 2 plus a negative 6 is negative 4. It's not okay there, so 2, a to the 3rd stays up, b to the 4th moves down. I'm going to do a couple of the examples on the back here for you, not all of them, but just a few. So in example 10, this 3 is getting applied to the 2, the x, and the y. So I'm going to get 2 cubed, x to the 6th, y to the 3rd. This negative 2 is getting applied to this negative 4, the x, and the y. So I'm going to have negative 4 to the negative 2 power. I'm going to have x to the negative 2 power, and y to the negative 4th power. So all those negatives are telling me I got to do a little work here. So this 2 to the 3rd is 8, x to the 6th, y to the 3rd. This is a negative exponent, so it's going to move down. Negative 4 squared. Move down. Move down. Now, the other thing that I could have done in looking at this, because now we have x's on the top and bottom, which is a problem, I could have looked at my x's here, and my y's here, and I would have gotten 2 to the 3rd, x to the 4th, y to the negative 1st, times negative 4 to the negative 2. So now I'd have to clean this up. 2 to the third is 8, x to the fourth. These two pieces are going to drop down. So negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, y. And that's actually our final answer here. Let's try example number 14 here. So this negative 3 is just out front. He's not in parentheses, so he's not getting this power to a power, but these two pieces are. So I'm going to have negative 3. I'm going to have times 2 to the negative fourth times x to the negative fourth. This 2 is going to apply to both things in here, so times x to the 10th and y to the negative 2. A lot of cleaning up to do here. So x is, so negative 3. This 2 to the negative fourth is going to have to go down. X to the fourth, negative 4 and x to the 10 is going to give me x to the 6th. It's going to stay on the top. And y to the negative 2 is the only y. It's got to go down. And final answer, 2 to the fourth. That's going to be 2 times 2, which is 2. Times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. So I'm going to have negative 3 x to the 6th over 16y squared for my final answer.